Hello students, this is Amardeep Singh, your computer teacher, and today we are going to start with a new chapter working with lists in Python. And in this session we'll discuss about lists in Python, list terminology, that is various terms related to a list, and creation of a list and traverse a list. So let's begin with the introduction to list in Python. A list is a sequence data type. It is a dynamic collection of heterogeneous elements stored under a single name. So that means list is a collection by using which we can store multiple values known as elements under a single name. So if we compare list with a variable, because variable is also a data member and list is also a data member, inside a variable, we can store a single value at a time during the execution of a program. And if you will reassign the value to a variable, then that previous value will be replaced with new one. But inside a list, you can store multiple values at same time. And next we will discuss about the features. So first feature is dynamic. Dynamic means the size of list can be increased or decreased during the execution. So that means we can increase the size by adding new elements to list, and we can decrease the size by deleting elements from list during the execution of a program. Next feature is mutable. As we discussed earlier that strings are immutable but lists are mutable. Strings are immutable means we can't make any change to any element of a string during the execution, but lists are mutable. That means we can add or delete elements from list at any time during the execution. Next feature is heterogeneous. We can store different types of elements in a list. So that means if we compare a list with the arrays, array is another concept in all languages. Array is a homogeneous collection of elements, but a list is a heterogeneous collection of elements. That means we can store different types of elements inside a list. For example, on zero index you can store integer value, on one index you can store a string value, on another index you can store a boolean type of value. So that means it's a collection of different types of data. So that's why it is known as a heterogeneous collection. Next we'll discuss about some terms related to lists. So first term is element. Element in a list means any value stored in a list. So if you will assign a value to variable, that is known as a value only, but if you will assign some value to list, then those value are known as elements. Next term is index or subscript. So the position of an element in a list is known as index or subscript. So because a list can store multiple elements, multiple value under a single name, then what is the uniqueness of each value or element inside the list? That is the index or subscript of that element. So the index always start from 0. The first element stored under 0 index, then second element stored in 1 index, as here in this example, a list with the name A. We are having so many values, elements stored in this list, like hello, 123, true, 12.34, and by, and each value is having a unique identity. The name is same, that is A and A, but the identity of each element is its index. Hello is stored under 0 index, 123 stored under 1 index. Next we are having size, or you can say length. The number of elements stored in a list is known as size or the length of a list. The next feature is contiguous storage. So that means all elements are stored in continuous memory blocks. As we know that a RAM, that is the memory of computer, RAM con is contains multiple blocks, addressable blocks, right? And when you will assign elements to a list, then all the elements of that list continuously stored in contiguous memory blocks. Like for example, in our first block of memory, as we have stored hello element, and in another element, in another memory block, next memory block 123 has been stored, and next memory block true is stored. But if we talk about variables, variable always store randomly. For example, if you are using three variable like a b c, then it may happen that a allocate this block and b allocate this block, that decide by the operating system of your computer, by the processor, right? So that means but if you will create a list, then all the elements will be stored in continuous memory blocks. Next we'll discuss about how to create a list. We can create a list directly by initializing elements or by inputting elements from user. So that means we are having two ways to create a list. One is direct initialization, second one is input elements from user. So we can directly initialize a list. We can create a list by directly initialize the elements by specifying the elements in square brackets. So for example, if you want to create a list directly by initializing the elements, the fixed values, then you can make use of this syntax list name. Then inside the square brackets, you have to specify the elements, the list of elements. And here we are having example li is equal to abc 123 true. So ABC will be automatically stored in 0 position, 123 will be stored in 1 index position, and true will be stored in second index position. And if you want to input elements from user, if you want to create a list by inputting the element from user, if you don't want to assign fixed values, then you can also make use of this one. To input elements from user, we have to declare an empty list. So that means first of all we have to declare an empty list like this: li is equal to square brackets without specifying any element, so it is known as an empty list. And using append function we will be able to add elements. So list contains a function. List is having a function, that is append function. Append function always insert an element at the end of existing elements of list. As we are not having any element, then first element will be stored in zero index. After that, when we'll make a call to append function, then it will add another element to one index position and so on. So let's demonstrate how to create a list. So first we'll follow the direct initialization of list by assigning elements into a list. So I will create a list like li is equal to, li is the name that you can assign any name to a list. Li is equal to, then square bracket start. Inside the square bracket you can assign different type of value. Even if you can assign the same similar values, like same data type values belongs to same data type, like all the integer, all the strings, or any other value. But in first example I'll make use of heterogeneous elements. Cambridge comma 123 comma true. So presently we are having a string value, then integer value, then boolean value, and even I will store a float value also. So presently I am having 4 elements inside the list. So if you will print the elements, we can also traverse elements, but here I am just printing all elements. So save the program, list create. So just try to run this code. So presently we are having these elements. So with the help of print function, we'll be able to print the elements stored inside the list. And next we'll discuss how to initialize a list by getting input from user. So I'll place a comment here. Then now start with another mechanism to create a list. So first of all, we have to create an empty list. So by using this mechanism, this statement, you will be able to create an empty list. So empty list as a comment, but that is not required. It's just for giving an indication that this one is an empty list, but it's an as you know that it's a comment line, and it will not be executed during the execution of a program. So next I'll specify for I in range whatever you want. So for example, if you want to add 5 elements, then you have to specify here 5. So index, as we know that this loop will execute starting from 0 to 4. That means 5 elements will be added because index start from 0. So 0 to 4 means 5 elements. So I'll specify li of the index position of that list. So we have to specify where we want to store the element. Sorry, don't. First of all, we'll use append function actually. Append, no need to specify any index. Append function will automatically add element to the next position according to the available elements, according to the existing element. As we are not having any element, then append function will insert an element to 0 position, right? So I'll use input insert element. So loop will execute input function 5 times, and that means it will add 5 in elements to the list. So after the completion of loop, we'll print the elements, save it, and so first we'll start with the enter elements. So I will specify hello by 345. Okay, 12.34 and present. So presently we are having all the elements in the list. So this one is the way how we can create a list, initialize a list directly by assigning elements or by getting element from user. So if you want to directly initialize a list or directly create a list by assigning element, then you can use only this line, but in this way you will be able to assign the fixed values. But if you want to change the value every time when you will run the program, then you have to get input from user. Then if you want to get input from user, so then by using append function of list, you will be able to add element one by one. And after creation of list, we'll discuss how to traverse or access elements of a list. Traversing means the processing or a process or fetch elements of a list sequentially. We can access or traverse elements of a list using index or using for loop. So for example, if you want to make use of for loop, then as we know that our for loop can process the elements of a sequence, any sequence, that may be a list, maybe a tuple, or maybe a string also. So if you want to make use of for loop, then you can also use like for variable in, then after that name of that sequence. Presently we are working with the list, then here you have to specify list name. So this loop will automatically execute according to the number of times uh, as the elements available inside that list. So that means every time this loop will execute, then next element of that list will be stored into this variable, and you can use that variable to print or anywhere you want. And next mechanism is, then you can access the elements of a list by index also. So if you want to access elements of a list by index, then you have to specify list name, then inside the square bracket you have to specify the index of that particular. So if you want to use the loop, then you have to declare here as a variable that is an index variable, then in range Then by using length function you will be able to get the length, because we need size of a list. So let me discuss how to assess elements of a list. We'll use the mechanism to get input from user. So first mechanism is you can assess element by index. So if, for example, if I'm going to print li0, so that means it will print the element available in 0 index. So let me print the all elements also, print li. So this print statement will print all the elements, and this statement will print the specified element from given index position. So let's start with the hello 123 345 by and OK. So the all the elements of the list are hello 123 345, and these are the all elements, and we after that we are assessing element available at 0 index position, then that is hello. So by using this mechanism, if you will write 1, then it will print in element available at 1 position. So if you want to traverse, then to traverse all the elements we are having so way like a for I in li. So it will automatically print all the elements or fetch all the elements from list, and every time the element will be stored inside this variable, that is I. So run it. So I'll specify 123 hello by OK. Then now here you can see all the elements are here. So by using this mechanism you will be able to print all the elements. And next mechanism is that if you want to assess all elements by index, because here we are using for in loop to traverse the elements. So if you want to assess those elements by index, then you can make use of for loop or while loop also. So first of all you have to fetch the length. So I'll declare a variable like L is equal to length of Li. So it will return the size of, that means the number of elements available in the list. So we have to run that loop according to the number of elements. So that means in range L. So but presently I will, inside I the index will be stored. So let me show you the value of I. So hello 1, and these are the values, and the index are 0 1 2 3 4, but I want to print the value or element available at that particular position. I contains the index. So if you want to fetch the element, then I'll specify li. Inside the square brackets I have to specify I. So that means this statement will return the element available at the specified at the index position of the value according to the value of I. So just start with that hello. Now we are having all the elements. So in this way you will be able to traverse all the elements, and we can also make use of while loop to fetch all the elements. So if you want to make use of while loop, then I'll remove this loop. So I have to start that loop from 0, as we know that we have to manually initialize specify the initial value of while loop while I less than L, that is the length of the list, and inside this loop you have to print li of inside square brackets, then and inside while loop you have to manually update write the updation statement. That means to update the value of I is equal to I plus 1, and save it. We have to specify colon, run this one, 123, hello, okay, y 243. Now here we are having elements. So that means you can assess or you can traverse elements of list by using foreign loop, by specifying the name of list directly, or by using index. Or if you want to fetch elements or traverse elements by index, then you can make use of for loop or while loop also. So that is all about the present session, and in this session we have discussed about the list and how to create a list, how to traverse a list. So if you people are having any kind of doubt related to creation of list and the purpose of using list in Python, then feel free to contact me anytime. Thank you very much for watching this video.